Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Tuesday, the 10th of October, comes to you from Bali in Indonesia. I'm on my way to Australia, having spoken at the IFTA conference in Jakarta last week. So taking a look at markets just quickly, I'm in my hotel room at the moment. We're seeing here, and it's just after 10 in the morning UK time, so we're seeing here the target on the dollar, this downside target that was given. That was the initial thrust. That set us up for this target. We've taken a little bit longer to get there. These were the gyrations with the non-farm payrolls, and of course we've got quite a lot of geopolitical issues going on with what's happened in Israel in recent days. So we are seeing here the dollar is weakening towards that 105 target that was actually activated at about 106.50. So we are just seeing that deterioration. No clear targets on the short term, on the medium term chart, on the daily. Looking at the euro, we see there, of course, the reverse of that, and that's the upside target there being given. And if we look at Japanese yen, we see here we had a downside target, but we're starting to look more and more to this medium-term target. That was given back at 138. 155 is a level that was back in May, and we are moving, albeit a little bit slower, but the fact is that target is still very much in place. If we break the 150 level, we'll be looking to that target there on the shorter term as well. Looking at sterling, we're seeing this short-term target being followed as well. That was given on the 5th of October, and 124 was the level, and we've still got a bit of work to do to get there. And we see here, this is the daily target, but realistically we are below the cloud, so we attach less importance to that. Taking a look at the NASDAQ, US markets are taking the latest geopolitical issues in their stride, and we see here we do have this upside target. We've recovered a little bit. That's showing up on the 60-minute chart with the upside targets, all train tracks pointing there. These are the targets that are in train on the 60-minute right now. But we see if we fall below, say, 14,500 when we activate this downside target below 13,000. So we have to watch that. Looking at the futures, the E-mini is up 0.25% this morning, and the NASDAQ also up, so it does suggest the market will go higher. We are tracking these short-term targets at the moment. This one just been activated on the NASDAQ, so that's looking more promising. FTSE futures up 1.6%. Again, that's looking quite strong. We're just waiting, really, for this upside target to be activated. These two targets here do hang over us, but notice how the short-term target was given and now exceeded. So on the 60-minute chart, that was key. This target now almost certainly is no longer an issue. Taking a look at the DAX cash market, we're at 1.7%. Again, looking quite strong there. These short-term targets really in train at the moment. The daily chart, we're seeing just a little bit of a counter trend move there, but we are still below the cloud on the daily, so we do need to be aware that this could be short-lived, this move. Remembering this is only a move of 1% versus an 8% downside on the medium term. Japan up 2.28%, so looking strong there. But again, waiting to see if we activate this downside target. But these targets very much in train at the moment, so quite key too. China was down 0.7%, so that's quite interesting. Just seeing these short-term targets very much dominating at the moment, below the cloud there. Same on the daily. These upside targets were given a while back. The new downside target is the one that's in train at the moment. We've got a new target here that, if that's activated, will point lower still. We're talking into sort of December and February next year for these sort of moves, so really quite key there. The Sensex in India up 1%, still looking very, very strong on that medium-term chart. And we look at the Aussie market, that was also better, up 1% overnight. So we've seen here that these downside targets are quite dominant, but we are just now activating this little mini upside target. So it's a mixed picture. Not everything is pointing in the same direction. Looking at commodities, we've got wheat looking pretty weak, down 1%. And again, lots of targets. So these train tracks really telling us. We do have a little bit of a counter trend move, but we've got very big downside here, 5, 12, 20, 24% downside. So it really is not looking strong for soft commodities. Looking at corn, similar issue there. So really just seeing these downside targets, the train tracks, really quite key. Gold, we see here is off a bit this morning. We have activated this little mini upside target tonight back to 1922, but these medium-term targets are very much the ones that are in train at the moment. We need to be back above the cloud to really start favouring these upside ones, and they are starting to look a little bit historic. The beauty of having these time-based targets is we see these ones are the ones that are in train at the moment. Silver down 0.5% this morning. Similar picture here on silver. We're seeing here these downside targets are really just optimum at the moment. If we made a new high, then silver would go much, much higher. But for the moment, we're seeing that. Looking at US 10-year yields, they've come off quite substantially, down 2.7% today. The targets were given and met well ahead of the target. We do still have these upside targets to 4.89 and 505, but we do have just a counter trend move, a bit like a double top that's going on here, so that's quite interesting as well. Just a quick look at tech stocks, looking better, of course, with that move of the Nasdaq. Apple still has these downside targets in train into next year, really, some 16-20% lower. We are below the cloud. We've got a little bit of a relief rally, and that's showing up in this target here, but we are still looking pretty bearish there, and we are going to be watching for results coming out from the tech majors in the coming days and weeks. But here we see Amazon again, just these targets in train at the moment. A mixed picture that just shows quite a bit of uncertainty. Looking at the energy mix, we start with Brent crude. And we see here we're really waiting for this upside target to come. We've got a new little upside target to back to $90, some 2% higher, but we do have this downside target. Probably met actually that target to 83. We got as low as that's 83.26. We got as low as 83.40. So it just shows that we nearly met that target, and it's now probably not the one that we're looking at. Taking a look at US nat gas. Nat gas has been looking a bit stronger of late. And we're seeing this showing up in the charts. We've got this breakout, and really it's upside targets all the way for US nat gas. So looking really strong with these train tracks now. This one has been met, so that's why it's not in bold any longer. Taking a look at emissions. And again, you can look at the 1-minute charts, of course. We still do have these medium-term targets in train. We are up today. We have crossed the cloud on the 60-minute chart with some new upside targets to look at. So that is looking a little bit better for emissions. And if we look at gas, also we're just seeing the energy mix just showing higher today. But TTF, that's looking better as well with this whole new set of upside targets. So it really does look like we've turned a corner there, and that's quite significant as well. And last of all, a look at German power. And here, quite an interesting picture. We do have this new upside target that has been activated, so that's quite key as well. And remember, if you want to have a look at the targets or ask me any questions, feel free to message me. Until tomorrow, happy charting. Bye for now.